He's like a little over a year and a half. So he be walking too slow, right? We trying to help him get in the store. So I'm holding him up. You want some more?
Let's stand together wherever you go, I'm going.
We are actually in the middle of eating lunch. I just woke up the boys from their nap after I had to clean up a emergency mess of poop. If you follow me on social media, you've seen that earlier this week. But yeah, we're having lunch right now. I was anticipating on vlogging during the nap time, but it didn't quite work out that way. Y'all hear Ethan in the background. I'm gonna show y'all them eating. Hold on. He wanted to sit in the big boy table today. Say hey.
Hey!
Hey.
Hi, Mommy.
So yes, like I said, we're having lunch right now. I'll fix my camera. And so while they're eating, I had to tell y'all about what happened to me yesterday. So get your favorite cup of wine. Right now I'm drinking some water because I'm trying to get right, but just go ahead and pull up a seat, honey, because go ahead and pull up a seat, bestie, because I got a story for you. Okay, so we're going to the grocery store yesterday, and if you're a mom, you already know the hassle of going to the grocery store, especially if you have more than one child. So going to the grocery store, and we get to the grocery store, it's raining, right? So now I'm in my car. I have to make a decision. I can either, one, sit in the car and wait on the rain to finish, two, get in a cart and, well, put the boys in the cart, but the cart is wet, mind you, because it's raining, or three, try to hurry up and get in the store. So I felt like option 3 was the most logical situation, right? So Ethan, he is a little bit over 1.5, so he walking too slow, so I got to carry him. Gregory, I am, holding his hand as we walk down the aisle. So mind you, it's raining. I'm trying to hurry up and get in the store. Y'all, when I tell you I bust my whole entire tail, like whole entire tail, in Kroger parking lot. Good thing I had on black, because my clothes got wet because I had on black. You really couldn't tell. But I really had to go back in the car and gather my thoughts because I was so frustrated. Like, y'all, that was a real mommy moment. Like, I almost cried, but I was like, okay, Courtney, just get it together. But by the time I got back to my car, gathered my thoughts, I was able to find a closer parking spot and it stopped raining. So all was not lost. It worked out in the end, but man, was that a process, okay? But yeah, let's just show you a little bit crazy about how my day went yesterday. Nonetheless, you're not here to talk about or to hear about how my day went yesterday. I'm here to tell you about the 5 things I wish I would have considered before choosing my OBGYN, because your girl had a horrible experience, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all this tea. Get it? And I'm here to give you 5 things that I wish I would have considered before choosing my OBGYN, okay? Number 1, read the reviews, sis, okay? Read the reviews. I cannot stress this enough. Be honest with you, when I picked my OBGYN, basically what I did was went in Google, typed in OBGYNs in my area, and now that car was just real disrespectful to my video. Back to what I was saying. So basically what I did was I just typed in OBGYNs in my area, and I picked one that was, pretty decent. There were a couple that I called before the one I had initially went up going with, but they were booked, so they couldn't accept any more patients. So ended up going to her, didn't read the reviews, and so after my bad experiences, that's when I read some of the reviews, and y'all just would not let me be great today. You don't even want nothing. So, just to give you some of the few things that occurred. Number one, I was always in the doctor's office at least an hour to 2 hours, like waiting to be seen. There were times I showed up, and I was, say if I was scheduled for ultrasound didn't happen, or I would go into the room was not clean, bathroom wasn't clean. I mean, it wasn't like dirty, but you could tell that somebody had been in the room already and was seen, and the room was not prepped before I went in. I felt a lot of times during my appointment, it was rushed. And it's just far as the professionalism in the office, it just was not there. So yeah, number one, I would definitely say read the reviews, all right? Number two, consider what type of birth you want to have, right? So that's if you want to have a water birth, if you want to have an at-home birth, or if you want to do something, I guess you could say more traditional, like going to the hospital. Think about all those things, and also think about your location, because at the time myself, I was staying in my hometown, Roberta, okay, 128 for life. You from, I know y'all don't know where Roberta is, but yeah. Roberta is a small town. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. So the closest hospital to where I was at the time was 45 minutes away. So I didn't want to run the risk of going into labor and then having to drive 45 minutes to the hospital. So I chose to be induced with both of my boys. You need to consider that, because you want to make sure that your OBGYN supports your decision on whether you want to have an at-home birth, a water birth, whatever is in the best interest of not only your health, but for yourself, because you want someone that's going to support you along the way, all right? So I would definitely say consider the type of birth that you want to have. Number three, ask your family and friends about their experiences with their OBGYNs and try to see if you can get in with them. I don't really know why I didn't do this. I think it was because really at the time, I didn't have a lot of friends that was pregnant or had babies. And the family members that I did know, like their kids were like in their teens, right? So I just figured like, their doctors probably not working anymore. And I did ask my sister, but like I said, my nephew's in his teens, so her daughter actually retired. So yeah, usually now, especially people around our age, we're having babies or getting married. So if you do have friends or family that you can ask about their OBGYN and their experiences, I would say definitely ask them, all right? Number four, I would say also try your best to have a great relationship with your OBGYN, okay? It's important to have a good relationship with them, because ultimately they're going to be getting very personal, if you know what I mean. So you want to make sure that you are, you keep the communication open, right? You let them know of your concerns, which kind of brings me into my last point with number 5 about be honest, right? Like be honest about things that you're not comfortable with. When I was pregnant with my first child and I went in to be induced, I was in labor probably like 6 or 7 hours, and because I was induced, of course they did try to see if I would labor naturally by breaking my water, but I wasn't laboring, so they had to give me Pitocin. And I felt like they were trying to rush my labor too fast, and I didn't speak up. And I honestly really feel like because I didn't speak up, long story short, I had to end up having a C-section because my baby's heart rate started dropping. And I really feel like that was because they was trying to rush my birthing process too fast. They was trying to rush my labor, which I felt like caused additional stress on me and my baby. So, And I had to have a C-section with my first child. And I don't know about anybody else out there, but if you've had a C-section, you know the struggle as far as recovery. And if you want to know my C-section story, I'll be more than happy to share it with you. You know, just drop it in the comments below. But you know, I really hated the fact that I had to have a C-section in my first birth. And it just was not a good experience, right? So just always be honest, keep the communication open, and ultimately, ladies, listen to your body, listen to yourself, right? Because you know your body, you know what you're capable of, and listen to that woman's intuition, right? Like, God gives us that intuition for a reason. And you know, be honest with yourself, be honest with your doctors, and just know that you were built for this, and everything is going to be okay in the end, right? But you know, you also have to protect yourself and your baby. So definitely keep those things in mind. If you are newly pregnant, about to get pregnant, you know, share this video with anyone that maybe thinking about having kids, or still kind of on the fence about what type of birth they want to have. Because I think if you take the time to consider these 5 things, your OBGYN experience or your experience with your doctor, midwife, whomever, will be awesome. So again, y'all know my goal is to always keep it raw and real, talking about the good, the bad, and the craziness of all things motherhood. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.